On this episode of This Is Game Boy, we get completely nude.
That's probably the best intro we've had.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of This Is Game Boy, the show where, well, as you can guess, we talk about Game Boy games. We just released a second light because I actually got a throat infection, so we couldn't record in time, so get an extra light out there, but I think the plan is to do just the 2 episodes next month or something, the full episodes. This is going to be a pretty short one anyway, so we might have the time to actually get to our bigger episode for the next one, the 19th one, which we will announce a little bit later. So I'm here, as you can probably hear, but Baltic is also here. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
There you go. That was a very nice hi. Like always, we'll talk a little bit about what we have been up to besides recording this podcast, of course. So, what have you been playing?
I guess to bounce off of the light episode that I did to cover this episode's time slot. Never Ending Nightmares, which was a hand-drawn indie horror game. Not bad. Kind of drawn out towards the end, but not a bad game at all. Best part of it was Steroid Baby.
Okay.
It was a baby that was jacked up on steroids with veins popping out of it. It was probably the greatest thing I've seen.
Okay.
I played through... I forgot what other horror game I played through. But... last night I played through Little Misfortune, and that game is exceptionally cute, but very, very dark at the same time. First game that the game studio has ever made, too, and they knocked it out of the park, so good job to them. Outside of that, I did the cliffhanger Game Boy tutorial for the Tiny 10, which no one apparently watched because people are still crying about the soft lock at the start of the stages.
Typical.
Yeah. And WoW Classic, that I've just been dumping so much time into WoW lately. It's just I don't have a life anymore. So, and then on top of that, just watching some horror movies. I watched Aliens the other night, and I'm probably gonna watch Alien 3 this weekend because best video game adaptation movie ever.
Well, it can be worse than the movie itself, so that's always a plus.
There are worse alien movies.
Yeah, true. But it's still not a really good one, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then outside of that, the Tiny 10 reveal that we had a few weeks ago. But that's really all I've been up to. What about you?
Well, like I said, I got sick, so I was a few days home from work, so I had a little time to catch up on some games that had been lying around. Which was good. So first off, I completed Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So that's the big one, not the what is the other one called?
Curse of the Moon.
Yeah, Curse of the Moon. So not the 8-bit one, but the new one. Well, like I said before, the graphic style is still odd to me, but it didn't bother me because the game is just amazing. Like it's really good. Like if you love Symphony of the Night, you definitely have to play it because it's really amazing. Would I recommend completing it? I'm not sure. Like, one of the trophies is to get every single item in the game, which is kind of boring to do, I guess. It took me like 6 hours, I think, of basically grinding and crafting, which isn't too bad, to be fair. I think the entirety took me like 28 hours. So, yeah, you can do it, but like it's pretty boring. Like there's no need for it. Once you get the equivalent of the Charisagrim, you have the best weapon in the game and you can pretty much destroy everything anyways. I did get that after the final boss, so I had no idea that it even existed in the first place, so I didn't quote-unquote cheat my way through the bosses. Besides that, I have been playing spoopy games for Spooptober. I finished The Evil Within. I cannot recommend that game, to be fair. There's so many things wrong with it that could have been better, but they just wanted to put so many different kind of things in one game that it was just a mess in the end. There were maybe 4 out of the 15 chapters that I actually enjoyed playing, and the rest was just like trying to work my way through it as best as I could, getting a little tired of it a lot. But yeah, maybe check it out if you want to, but be warned that it's really not the best game in the world. It's actually quite awful. I also played the PlayStation version, PlayStation 4 version. I don't know if it works better on maybe Xbox or something. I have no idea if it even exists on an Xbox to begin with. But yeah, it's just not great. The story itself is pretty cool, but I also had to look up a plot analysis after I played the game because I was so bored with the game that I even lost my interest in the story. But the idea is pretty cool at least. So
it just tries so hard to be Resident Evil, and it's not, in my opinion.
Well, it tries to be all the different horror franchises. That's probably why it's not executed
fair,
well.
Yeah.
It's like a Silent Hill level of storytelling for sure. It has Resident Evil action, but they also have the Resident Evil 5 action, I would say, or 4 maybe even, but they also give you way too less ammo. So what's the point even of... There are like really, really big action sequences in this game, and you almost have no bullets, so it doesn't work that way. Either you just give me a lot of bullets, or you just give less enemies. Like, they did that wrong. But yeah, it had something from every horror franchise from video games. And I think that's why it's just didn't work out in the end, because they wanted to do too much. I will check out the second one, but not this one, because it tired me out. I just don't want to play more Evil Within at the moment.
I heard the second one was worse than the first one, so...
I heard the other way around,
really?
actually. So yeah, I don't know. It's not a well-loved franchise, I guess, if you can call it that, with 2 games. But yeah, after that, I played a little bit of NES games, just like random NES games, spoopy games. I played The Nightmare on Elm Street, which I really like. I think it's a really cool game. I haven't been able to beat it yet. Made it to the final boss, but then I game over, sadly. But it was like on my second try, so I'm sure I'll get to that in the end. I played Castlevania yesterday, the first Castlevania. It was a long time since I played that game, so it took me a while longer than it should have, especially the Dracula fight, which gave me some troubles, because I had also played Rondo of Blood, which basically is the same Dracula fight, but a little different, and I got that pattern so stuck in my head that I couldn't adapt to the original Castlevania, so I had to look it up how to do it again. It was awful, actually, but yeah. So beaten that one. Played Castlevania 2 Simon's Curse for the very first time in my life. Actually really love that game. I think it's very fun. I did play the redacted ROM hack, which gives a better translation, because that's the problem with the original game, that it's translated so badly that you have no idea where to go. But I can say that the hints, quote unquote, weren't really necessary to beat the game. So like, even if I had played the original version, I would have been fine. It's really not that cryptic as people make it out to be. Like, besides the kneeling for the tornado, that's probably the only thing that's a little cryptic, but the rest is
the only annoying part about Simon's Curse is the day to night transition.
Yeah, that's also something they changed in the the redacted version. Well, it was one person who did it. Normally it takes around 10 to 12 seconds for the transition, but they made the text go faster, and then it only takes 4 seconds, which is a godsend, really, because it happens quite a lot in the game. Mostly right before you enter a town and you want to buy something, and then you have to wait for like 5 minutes for it to come day again. But yeah, I really like this game. I think it's a great Castlevania that everybody should definitely check out, and you can now because it's on the Castlevania collection. So
I don't know. I enjoy Castlevania. I think I like Castlevania 2 more than the first Castlevania. It just gets a bad rap because a lot of YouTubers and whatnot have pooped on the game pretty hard because of various small little issues that really aren't an issue at all. So.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, I thought I got lost one time, and then I accidentally stumbled upon where I needed to go. Still no idea how I did it, but but yeah, I mean, it's not that hard at all. Like,
no, it's not.
It's actually an easy game as well because there's not that much you fight in it, like compared to the other Castlevania. So yeah, definitely check it out. So like I mentioned, I played Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night from the Castlevania Requiem collection, I guess it's called. So I completed both of those. So getting all the trophies and such. So Rondo of Blood is basically play through the game with Richter and then do the alternate paths with Maria. That's basically the entirety of Rondo of Blood. So you get 100%. And you have to rescue all 4 maidens. So Symphony of the Night, it's pretty much what you expect for completing it. Getting the entire map, getting some like random trophies here and there, and then the biggest problem with it is getting the duplicator, which costs 500,000. I have no idea. It's a lot. I think it's 500,000. In the original game, on PlayStation, that is not a problem. But this is the PSP version, and they patched out the glitch to get money quickly, so you actually have to grind for it.
Why would they use the PSP version?
The PSP version has some glitches that are out of it that actually ruined the game. So that's why they took that version, because it's basically the patched version, but it also doesn't have What is a Man and things like that. So
what is a man?
So it's kind of sad, but yeah, the game works better at least. But yeah, grinding for the money was not fun at all. I also played Monster Party yesterday. First time I played that game. It's alright. I can't really say more about it. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it, I guess, but it was not anything special, or, I mean, whatever. Besides that, I also played one Game Boy game this month, which was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. To my surprise, that game was a lot better than I thought it would be. Not saying it's a good game, but it's better than I thought it would be. So if you want this poopy Game Boy game to play this month, but this episode is coming out in November, so that doesn't work anymore. But yeah, check out Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It's like a half an hour game or something.
Polished gem for the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird. It's fun. Yeah, check it out. And because I was sick, I also dove back into Grandia, or however it's pronounced, the HD version on Switch, and I finished it. It's a very, very low, not low quality, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's like a very beginner-friendly RPG. I had like 0 issues with the entire game. I even did all the optional side dungeons, and they gave me no problem at all. Actually, up until the point that it kind of was boring, quote unquote. Like, because I never felt like I had to go grind or anything because I couldn't do something. It's also very easy to know where to go because they basically show you, like, go here. So some of the dungeons are a little bit crazy, but nothing where you can get lost for like hours. So yeah, fun game. I would recommend it to people for playing it as their first RPG ever or something, so you get familiar with many mechanics of it. And the last game that I just started, because I had no idea this was out, it's Ghostbusters Remastered. Yeah, it's Ghostbusters 3 basically, so I love that game. But playing it on professional mode was not the best choice that I made, because you die in 2 hits, and yeah, it's not fun actually.
I didn't know they remastered that game.
Yeah, they like dropped it in September, I think, that they were gonna do it, and I was waiting for it, and then I saw. What did I see? Oh yeah, I saw an episode of Super Beer Bros, and they they had to pamper one of the guys because of a Patreon thing. And like they gave him a copy of the game in the end. I was like, whoa, wait, this is out already? So I went to the store and I picked it up myself immediately.
Huh. I liked that game a lot. It was really fun.
It
was a lot more fun
amazing.
than I thought it'd be.
Mm-hmm. Amazing game. Everybody should play that one. It's the remastered PS3/Xbox game, by the way. Not the NES version.
Not the OG.
Yeah. So yeah.
Could you imagine remastering the OG Ghostbusters
That would suck.
Just a floating 3D symbol instead of a 2D polygon.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The only thing I miss about the remastered version, on PS3, when you place your disc in and you go on your game logo, it has like that big movie in the background for the game, which doesn't happen anymore on PS4 as far as I know. But for Ghostbusters, what they did was they put the theme song playing on it, so you could just leave your PS on and had the song playing the entire time, which was cool, and this one doesn't have that, which is kind of sad. So,
well, I mean, next month we have to look forward to. We have Death Stranding next month.
Yeah, that will be a great movie.
It will be something, that's for sure. And then we have Pokemon.
Yeah, and
Doom get delayed, so.
And at the end of next week, Luigi's Mansion 3 actually. Very excited for that as well.
See, I could never get into Luigi Mansion games. I tried. I played the one for, what was it, the DS or whatever it was, or Wii or whatever.
DS, yeah. I haven't played that one because, well, it's DS. I don't want to play Luigi's Mansion on DS. I'm still hoping they will port it to Switch eventually, but otherwise I'm not playing it.
Put everything on the Switch.
Everything, yes. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So a lot of games, but a lot of short games as well, of course. So, yeah, was a good month so far.
Yeah, no kidding. Blew my game list out of the water. Freaking World of Warcraft eating up all my time.
Mm-hmm.
So what game are we about to dive into, Mo?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Pingu, Sekai de Ichiban Genki na Penguin, which literally means the best penguin in the world, and they're right.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong at all. So yeah, when we come back, we'll dive deep into the penguin lore, so stay tuned. So, Mo is probably going to have a lot more to say about this, because I think Pingu is a lot more popular over there than it was over here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think... Well, everybody knows Pingu, of course, but, like... Yeah, it was, of course, a European thing. It was made here, so of course we saw it a lot on TV. But yeah, for people who don't know Pingu, Pingu is a Swiss-British stop-motion clay animated children comedy television series created by Ottmar Gutmann. And they had a series running from 1990 to 2000 for Swiss television, but like it, of course, got sold to many countries, which was easy to do because there's basically no language, like real language, in this series. So they have like a made up language that they speak. So it's easy to, of course, produce it for other countries as well. From 2003 to 2006, they made a few new episodes. Not that many. It's like maybe 16 or something. But it was for British television then, specifically. But yeah, again, it got ported to other countries as well. And that was made by the Pygos Group. Formerly Trick Film Studio or Pingu Film Studio. So they had an actual studio just for Pingu, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it's basically about a family of penguins. Like the description says anthropomorphic. So I guess they just mean they do stuff that people would do. They're just a family of penguins. So of course at the South Pole, because we all know that there's no penguins on the North Pole. And the main character is the family's son and title character Pingu. Well, that's basically what Pingu is.
Yeah, I remember seeing this as a kid. I had to be surfing channels because like Pingu wasn't on like prime television in America, at least to my knowledge. Because America doesn't care about family friendly television like Pingu. It wants guns and fireworks and gore. At least the 90s did. But I want to say I was just like browsing through channels one day and I came across a claymation of a penguin and I sat there and watched it, and it ran like I think 2 or 3 episodes that I watched, and I still to this day had no idea what the heck it was. Like I even remember it. I was like, I wonder what that show was called. Even when we were diving into like the Game Boy community when Mo and I first met, like I was like, I remember like a claymation penguin cartoon, but like I just didn't think too much of it and dive into it. But yeah, it definitely was over in America, just not as premiered as it was over in Europe. So
yeah, not only in Europe, of course, because this game is Japanese only, which is also kind of weird, especially because, well, Bingo was European and so popular in Europe. So it's weird that they only released it in Japan for sure. But yeah, they also love Pingu there, which is normal because Japan really loves those kind of kids shows, like the Hello Kitty things and stuff like that. Like Hello Kitty is, I think I said this before, Hello Kitty is basically based on a Dutch cat called Moestie. If you look it up, you will see they're literally the same character. So yeah, they really love those really kid cartoons, I guess. So
Nubo.
Yeah. That was their own thing then.
Yeah. Game came out in 93, so early mid release of the Game Boy, I guess. Developed by Tom Create. I don't know who Tom Create is at all. Published by BAI.
Yeah, BAI. I guess it's called that. At least Tom Create. Nobody will have heard of this, but they made a lot of Japanese-only games for Game Boy and Super Nintendo, actually. Like, for Game Boy, they made... I don't even know what this one is. Kingyo Chuyu? I have no idea which that one is. They also did Magical Turururu 2. So that's a thing. They made Super Bickery Man. I think I've played that, but I'm not sure. I see they actually did one game that is not Japanese only, but based on Japanese property, which is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, at least the Game Boy version.
The non-movie edition?
Yeah, the normal.
Oh, okay, the bad one.
Normal one. Yeah. They also did. Oh no, they also did the movie one actually. Oh. So yeah, they've made a lot of games, but I mostly see like Gundam and things like that. So. Back then, we won't know that company, but I'm sure Japan knows them very well.
And just looking at BAI publisher, so they've done that Pingu, whatever game that you said first, and then Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds in '93, and then Pingu, obviously, and then the 3 Shame no Tama and Friends 3 whatever game for the Game Boy in '94.
I had no idea Thunderbirds was even on Game Boy.
I didn't know that either.
No, this surprises me. Okay, it's Japanese only. I see, but
list right here it says Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've never come across that. That's
developed by Kid, and according to GameFAQs, because we know how accurate they are, the difficulty is just right. Ranked number 4 easiest Game Boy Adventure game, and they say about 11 hours long, which means about 2. So
11 hours for a Game Boy game. What is this, Voxel?
But it came out in '93 apparently. So and then,
yeah, that's something I'll have to check out.
Yeah, and then they did Battle Rush, Build Up Robot Tournament for NES, and Date Kimiko no Virtual Tennis for the Super Nintendo. So you can just imagine what that game's about. But it looks like they didn't publish a ton. I'm assuming like if you went over to Japan to a retro gamer over there and you ask, do you know who BAI is? Like, there's a chance that they may know, but
yeah.
And then composed by Masahiro Iwata.
Very, very well-known composer from what I can see. Like, I don't know him by name, of course, but when I look at what he has done in his life, it is a lot. Like, really, really, really a lot. So, that's pretty great.
I know him best from Ogre Battle and Final Fantasy, so...
So, yeah. 65 games he has composed for, so... Yeah. It's great.
Dang, just looking at some of these games, just holy smokes. Like, I didn't know he did a lot of these games. I've played a lot of these games, so... Yeah, like I said, I just know him for Ogre Battle and Final Fantasy. He did a fantastic job in the Final Fantasy Tactics OST, so... Yeah,
I never played that one, but I did play Final Fantasy 12 that I see on the list here. Final Fantasy is known for great music, so that's cool. Yeah,
hailed for its music.
Yeah.
There's concerts of symphonies across the world that play that music. So
yeah,
you did something right. Plot of Pingu. So typically I let Mo do this, but this one's gonna be a little bit different because Pingu is an episodic game. Pingu is broken out into 5 episodes?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 episodes. And each episode has its own different plot, so Mo and I will be weaving. We'll say weaving in and out of plot and gameplay for the episodes. So, I guess we'll just dive into gameplay.
Yeah, like to sum up a little bit more about what the Pingu television series is, it's basically like 2 to 3 minute shorts, I think, maybe 5. I don't know. It's like very short episodes where very sitcom-y, like one silly thing happens and then it has to be solved by Pingu and in the end everything is alright. Like, it's very wholesome at least, but there's also always something very dumb that happens because of Pingu, usually, and then he has
life
to...
lessons.
Yeah, it's a very fun cartoon, at least. So you can definitely look them up on on YouTube. So
yeah. So diving into episode 1, Fishing with Pingu. Plot, I guess, is at the start of the episode, Pingu interacts with Pinga, which is brother, sister,
Sister, yeah, little sister.
At the start, and then Pingu goes over and eats the entire fish off of the dinner table and like sits next to the table in complete victory. And Mum comes over and says, "Hey, you ate dinner. You need to go catch more now." So basically, you walk out of the house and head left or right out of the house, and you'll come across. So before we dive into that, when you walk outside, like you're in like a little town. Like it's a 2D side scroller. Like it's not like a Zelda where like it's overview and you can walk wherever you want. It's a 2D side scroller where you can go left or right, and it's a little town. Like you come across like a little market, you come across other huts, you come across NPCs. Like it's a pretty interesting. It actually has a lot to it for how small the game is.
Yeah.
So as you go out, you head left or right because I believe it just loops around, and you newt at the seal because there are a couple fishing holes open, and then from there you start fishing, and the fishing game can be a little tedious at times if you kind of don't understand what's going on. So you have to catch a certain amount of fish. I believe you have to catch 100 points worth of fish, and you have 3 lures that you have, basically lives, and there's 3 ways to lose your lure. Either a sea lion or a penguin will swim across the screen and just straight up take it. The fish will oftentimes, most time they're slow, and that's how you catch them. But sometimes you'll get a fish that just mad dashes across the screen, and if the fish hits that lure is gone. So, and if you're reeling in, if you're not mashing A enough to reel in the fish, you'll lose the lure. So you actually have a time limit to pull in the fish as well too. But with that, like the fish scoring is very too depending on the type of fish that you pull in. There are lighter colored fish and darker colored fish, and the darker colored fish are actually worth more points than the lighter colored fish. And there are small fish and large fish as well. So a large dark colored fish is 20 points. Large light colored fish is 15. Small dark is 10. Small light is 5. And then once you pull in 100 points worth of stuff, the game ends and you walk on home and greet everyone with fish. But I believe you lose a fish in the end, actually. Try to remember the cutscene because I believe like once you finish the game, Pingu has a fish in his hand and it like wiggles out and jumps back into the water. So
yeah, it's something like that, or the Celian. Okay, the sea lion eats it, or something like that. Like he actually gets the fish, and then he loses it, and then he goes home all sad, thinking that he will be in trouble. But then there is fish there already because his dad fished, or so. It's always something like that, at least.
Yeah, but that's basically episode 1.
yeah.
I mean, episode 2, Pinga is lost. This is a misleading title. Pinga isn't lost. Pinga is just floating on a chunk of ice.
Yeah. So for the second, before I move on with episode 2, like this game is basically a mini game collection. So there's all these kinds of different games that you can play. So there's one specifically tied to each episode you do. So yeah, the second episode, like Pingu is just jamming, listening to the radio while he basically has to take care of his sister or like babysit her. So she gets out of the house, and when oh no, they both get out of the house, right?
Yeah,
They go for a walk, yeah, and Pingu is not paying attention to Penga at all. Penga. All these names are difficult. His little sister. So suddenly you see her floating away on an ice block into the ocean. So then you have to go get her. The way this minigame works is that you have to jump on the different floating ice platforms. They're not slippery, but you do have you can do a long jump or a not so long jump. And some of the blocks are moving around at a weird base, and you have to get on top of those things without falling off, which sounds a lot easier than it is actually. I always have a lot of trouble with these stages, but yeah, you have to do it 3 times, I believe. Yep. Every time it's like a different setup, and then you have to get to the block where your little sister is actually sitting on. The good thing about it, you do have lives, but if you run out of lives and you made it to stage 2, you can start from stage 2, right? Or am I...
Yeah, once you quote-unquote game over, you just newt back into the mini game and you start off where you left off.
Yeah, so you don't have to restart the entire thing, because that would make it a lot more difficult probably, because you only have 3 lives, plus you have a time limit, so you can't just wait around until you are super sure you can make a jump or not. So
the hard part about this minigame is, so you remember how I said it's a 2D side scroller with no 3D elements? Well, now the game has incorporated 3D elements into a 2D side scroller. So a lot of times when you jump with Pingu onto a platform, it looks like you landed on the platform, but in reality, if you were to overhead cam it, you really missed the platform and you fell into the water. And then you lost a life in return. So it's one of those it looks like I landed on it, but in reality, I didn't land on it type deal. So it's kind of it kind of plays with your mind a little bit, and you kind of have to overcompensate a lot of the times for these blocks. So
yeah, that's pretty much the entire mini game, I guess, or the entire stage.
The best part about it is whenever you complete it, it says good play.
Yeah.
But whenever you lose, bad play.
Bad play. It's kind of fun, yeah, because it doesn't really mean anything, but just very English.
It just shames you really hard.
Mm-hmm. But, the animations during those things are amazing, actually. The attention to detail in this game is actually really, really incredible.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's real. If you watch the cartoon and then you play this game, it's basically the same thing. They did a fantastic job for probably a game that didn't even sell well at all.
Yeah, it's just not even for the game's lore per se, but just the animation of the game, the sprites of the game, the everything dealing with the game it reminds you a lot of the Pingu Claymation series. Pingu looks like Pingu. It's not just a block of sprites. Penga looks like Penga. It's not just a random block of other color sprites. Everything looks the way it should, even from the animation itself, which is wholesome and amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually incredible how they translated this to a Game Boy screen. Fantastic job. Just it's probably some of the most impressive graphics you will see on Game Boy, even though it is still Pingu, so it's not super detailed and things like that, but yeah, it just completely works, and not a lot of people notice.
even the amount of like different screens this game has, it's just like some screens has Pingu, Pinga, and the sea lion like on a screen, and then other screens just has Pingu with the hitchhiker handkerchief, and some screens has Pingu and Pinga, and like there's just a lot of just like different screens happening even too, which a lot of times even like the bigger title Game Boy games are just like, we'll use this one screen for the rest of the game, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So diving into episode 3. Episode 3 is my least favorite episode because this is Pingu's ice hockey, and the ice hockey stage in this game is just an absolute brute of a minigame.
Yep.
So day 3, we break the vase in day 3. That's right. So once you get going, Pingu's gonna run left and kick a ball, and this ball is going to bounce around the room and hit a vase and knock the vase off of the table, and Pingu is going to newt and run out of the house immediately, basically running away from home because he doesn't want to be in trouble or get yelled at by mom and dad. So we go across, we see a merchant, and the merchant is selling the exact same vase that we just broke. Amazing coincidence. And but we don't have any fish to buy it, so fish are now a currency to buy an item in the game. So we make out some deals, and we go and find some, I believe they're called strikers in this show, and we come across and find the hockey players, essentially. And we go and play hockey against these hockey players. And it's 3 stages again. And stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, it's the same game. Like it's air hockey basically, but the AI is slightly harder as you progress through the stages. So like stage 1, basically you bounce it off the top or the bottom at a certain angle, and it's going to go in. Like the goalie is just an idiot. Stage 2 it gets to be a little slightly harder. The issue with the game is that you could have a volley go on for, you could have it go on forever. Yep. Literally forever, because if the AI like just stays in front of the net, that puck doesn't go in at all. And depending on where you and or the AI hits the puck, you can fall over. So if the puck is like in the back half of you, when you hit it, you kind of fall over and slip, which kind of like stuns you for a second or two. And that's kind of your opening to try to get the puck into the net. But sometimes the AI will just fall over in front of the net, and you can't get the puck into the net at all. So it could be a lot of back and forth. But once you beat stage 2, you go into stage 3. And this is when you need to understand how the mechanics of air hockey in this game works. Like, you have to understand how to knock down your opponent in order to score, because if you don't knock down your opponent, chances are you're never ever going to score, and you're going to game over a ton in this segment. It's by far the hardest minigame in the game, in my opinion. Main minigame, in a way, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. What happens after you win? You go back to the merchant, and well, the vase has already been sold. So you go home again. You're scared of what will happen, and then you see that there suddenly is a vase on the what's it called? Table, not table. On table. The dresser, I guess. And it was your dad who bought the vase. Yay! Everything is well in the world of Pingu again.
You know what my favorite thing about the dad penguin is that he has a pipe in his mouth. Every time you encounter him, always has a pipe in his mouth.
Indeed, that's his thing. Like they had to do something to distinguish the penguins from another. Like the mom has a pearl necklace, I believe.
Yep.
And like eyelashes. So that's how you can recognize her. But besides that, they're just penguins. Like, Penguins? I say penguin because I keep seeing Pingu here, but I do, and it is penguin in Dutch. So, but yeah, penguin. There we go.
Penguin.
Okay, but yeah, that was episode 3. And I guess we messed up. It's actually only 4 episodes in this game, not 5.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah,
yeah.
it is.
So episode 4 is the final one. I don't really understand what happens here, but you get into a fight with your mom, and she sends you out or something, and then you are so mad that you are so mad that you run away. Actually, something like that.
Pingu's trying to get his mom's attention, but his mom is playing with Pinga.
Oh, right.
And the mom basically just yells at Pingu to stop being a spoiled brat, and Pingu gets mad and runs away.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, he stays out all night, and then he comes back home in the end. Very late, but his mom is so happy that he's back, and then everything is wonderful again. But yeah, during his you type chalice, yeah, I guess. During his rage storm outside, he finds some of his friends, and they start playing a snowball fight, basically. So that's the final minigame of this game. So, like with all the other ones, except for the fishing one, you have 3 stages with quote-unquote increasingly difficult, because this is a super easy game, to be fair. You can literally stand behind, like an ice block that pretty much blocks everything for you, but you can still hit all of the other opponents very easily with it. There's like 2 levels, like there's some in the front, some in the back, so you have to kind of use a power meter to know how far you will be going, you will be throwing. But it's like really, really easy. You can pretty much keep hitting them once they appear in your sight, and that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire game that we just described. And you would say like, this sounds very short. Well, it is very short. But yeah, but they did do some, like, there's more stuff to do if you want to, actually. Like Baltic said, you always start in the town so you can walk around. There are other houses you can go into, and there are 4 other mini games that you can actually play as well.
Yeah, so the difficulty in episode 4 is just how many penguins you have to throw snowballs at. So, like, stage 1, you throw it at 2 penguins. Stage 2, 3 penguins. Stage 3, 4 penguins. But yeah, like Mo was saying, there's other mini games that you can play as well. There's Pingu, which I don't even know, or remember rather, what that was. I heard you playing Pingu when I came on. So.
Yeah, I was checking out those mini games because I actually had not played them at all. So I checked out the Pingu one. It's kind of like columns, or like what's Puyo Puyo. You are basically on one of those fields, and there's ice blocks on it, and you have to get rid of them by making a chain of 4 of the same whatever. It's penguin hats in this game, and then they disappear, and then you move on to the next level. I don't know how many stages there are in there, probably a lot, so you can keep on going with that. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, and then you have fish catch.
Yeah, which is basically whack-a-mole, but you don't whack the fish, like they jump from one of the fishing holes to another, and you have to catch them. I was playing that one. It's pretty fun. I thought it would only have been like a few stages, but I made it to 15 and it was still going. So I don't know how many there are. I couldn't beat that one, actually. I actually game over there. So, yeah.
And then 15 puzzle, which is a slider puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Again, no idea how many levels there are in there. I did 4 of them. It's not a very hard sliding puzzle. It's not like they jumble it up completely that it will take you half an hour to figure it out. They really just move like 6 of the spaces and you just have to like play it backwards, I guess. So it makes sense again. It's super simple.
Then hide and seek, which is one I could never figure out how to play. I think I just never figured it out and I gave up.
Yeah, I finished for 1 level of it, with just luck, I guess. But there's like there's 9 houses, 9 igloos, and 3 of your friends will hide in those houses, and you have to pick 3 of them. And then it shows you if they were in there or not. But you do have to pick all 3 of them. Like, it's not like you go towards one and there's somebody in there. No, you have to pick 3, and then it just shows you if you're right or wrong. So it's kind of weird, actually.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's all the mini games right there. But like, I don't know, if you play the game, I recommend playing the game. But if you play the game, just walk around the town, like, and just like adore the actual like detail put into the game. Like, there's just so much detail in the town that you spend so little time in.
Yep.
Cover art. So this is a very basic box art.
Can't be more basic than this. It's the Pingu logo, actually. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing more to it. It's nice that they used the like his little bag, hobo bag, or what is it called? Like,
I call it the hobo hitchhiker.
it's something like they used a pattern for some part of the background as well for the cover. But yeah, besides that, it's just, if you just look up Pingu, this is the image you will always get because it basically is the logo of the entire show.
Yep. BAI logo very much reminds me of Bandai Namco.
Yeah, I
logo.
keep thinking it is Bandai. Maybe it is. I don't know. Like
I look at it, it's so similar to Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Did Bandai come from BAI?
I'm looking this up.
I would assume
looking.
not. Like, BAI was 93 and whatnot. I feel like Bandai was around before then.
Yeah, here we go. BAI is a subsidiary of Bandai.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, so that's why it looks so similar to Bandai's logo. All right. Crazy. I was just like, did they just rip off Bandai's logo? I mean, it's just a red circle. Like, it's nothing special.
That's kind of weird that they have 2 companies doing the same thing, basically, then.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Konami and Ultra.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the box art. It's basically like what Mo said. If you type in Pingu on a Google search, you'll see the Pingu logo, and it's literally that slapped onto the front of a Game Boy box. There's no other really art around it at all. So, dive into some trivia. This was the first Pingu video game. The very first.
And they did a great job.
And they did a phenomenal job with it. The next bit of trivia, Mo and I had a good time listening to.
Yeah.
We found out that there is an 8-bit rendition of Woodpeckers in Space in Pingu. And if you don't know what Woodpeckers in Space is, it's a 80s song made by video kids, basically kind of about Woody the Woodpecker.
But his space cousin then.
Yeah, apparently woodpeckers are cousins to the penguins. From the little bit I read about the song, it's an 80s song about Woody the Woodpecker, basically. And there is an 8-bit rendition of that song in Pingu for some unknown reason. So, and I found it and made Mo listen to it, and it was fantastic. and you all are gonna listen to it too. So
Yeah, like at least the 8-bit rendition of it. But I would definitely recommend you go to YouTube and you type in Woodpeckers in Space, and it's a thing. I was very surprised when I saw that.
It is a thing. And then there's a couple little Easter eggs hidden throughout the game. So there is a password screen for Pingu. If you enter Pingu, Snowman, Dad, Mom, there is a loop of Pingu just dancing. If you enter Pingu, Robbie, which I believe is the sea lion, Pinga and Snowman, Pingu and Pinga appear. And if you enter Pingu, Dad, Mom, Pinga as a password, it brings up a sound test.
Yeah, so you can listen to Woodpeckers in Space 8-bit version the entire day if you want
it's
to.
It's BGM 15. I already know it.
Yeah, but well, I don't know if it shows up like that in the actual game.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'll look it up, actually. I'll just boot up the game while we're here, so...
General reception of the game. I couldn't find much about reception of Pingu. Probably because it was a Japanese-only release game. And honestly, it's kind of hard to find like reviews and general media around Japanese-only games, especially ones that are so small, like Pingu or like Nubo or something like that. But I bet if we were in Japan, I bet we could find a lot of stuff like this, but in terms of just like global information, it's hard to find and almost impossible to find. So
yeah. All right, let me check it out. There are BGMs actually that you can select, so let's see if it is this one. So yeah, you'll be hearing that in the microphone, whatever. This is it. Yeah. So if you want to listen to it on the actual Game Boy, it's BGM 21. So there you go. But yeah, speaking of the music, this game has amazing music. Like, really, really amazing.
Well, that's because Masahiro Iwata did it.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, it's a great soundtrack. Just download it. Or use the password to get to the sound test.
You can listen right through the Super Nintendo then. Alright, so yeah, we're going to take a short little break here when we come back. We'll talk about our history with Pingu, Pingu video game, and anything Pingu lore related. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that break song of Woodpeckers in Space 8-bit variety. So Mo, history of the game and Pingu in general. I know you have some history of Pingu because being in Europe and all.
Yeah, it was on TV basically every day during like the half-hour kids like TV thing. Like we had a show called Tic Tac, with like the clock running, I guess, which featured like some shorts for like very, very young children, and after that always came Pingu. So I've known it for basically my entire life. The game itself, I think I found it a few years ago when I was just like going through the list of Game Boy games, and I was like, oh, hey, there's a Pingu game. This can be good. Probably, like a lot of games that are based on things like this. But yeah, to my surprise, I really loved it. It just puts a smile on your face. It's kind of like Nubo was, where you're just playing it and it just makes you happy. This is a lot shorter than Nubo though.
Yeah.
Like it's only a 10-minute game at best. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. I put it in Tiny 10 7 maybe, as one of those mini games that we always put in as a little break, and like the love for this game got spread through that because now a lot of people know it, which is great. But nobody can find an actual copy of it, so that's a little sad. I don't think I have one either. So
I don't have a copy. It's hard to find.
yeah. It's like I said at the start, this probably did not sell well at all, which is a shame because you can see that they put all their heart into just making this one.
My thoughts and history. So like I said, like I just randomly came across Pingu years ago. Had no idea what it was. I saw it on the TV, watched it for a couple minutes, and then tuned out of it. I was kind of at the age where like it wasn't my thing. Like I was outgrown from that stage. It's definitely more of a younger child's type thing than it is a, teenager-esque type thing. So I was over the age for it to be really appealing, but I do remember seeing it on TV. I had no idea there was a Pingu video game until that Tiny 10, actually. When Mo put that list together and there was a Pingu game, I had no idea what Pingu really was, so I played it. And then after I played it, I was like, "Wow, this is a really good game." And then I went on YouTube and looked at Pingu, and I was like, "Oh, this is that claymation I saw like 20 some years ago." I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's then things started coming together. The one thing that game made me wish though is that there was an English translation ROM for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know what the title cards say at the start of the episodes for the game. Because they're all written in Japanese, so
yeah, it's weird. It's a show that actually doesn't use language, so did it need the stage cards, like the explanations? I don't know. Like it feels like you can make it up yourself, but yeah, it would be nice to see what they actually are trying to tell there.
Yeah. As for that speedrunning segment, there's a leaderboard for it. It's actually a pretty lengthy leaderboard. I don't have the link open anymore, but I don't know, it was something like 15, 20 people ran this game.
Mm-hmm.
The world record is a 4-year-old world record right now by Worcester, with a time of 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Second place is also a 4-year-old time as well too. So I'm assuming that a few people probably race this for like SRL or whatever, and then put their times up onto a leaderboard. And Worcester was the one to probably grind the game out a bit more than some of the other people. But it's a cool little speedrun. The hockey segment makes it look real easy. And it's just an any percent category, so it's just blowing through the 4 episodes as fast as you can. I don't even know if 100% category is even possible at all. So, but
yeah, no idea. Like I don't know how lengthy the other mini games are because like the first one already kept going to level 15. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea at all how all of that would work. Do you want to take another break and come back to closure, or do you just want to dive right into it all?
We can do it like this was short anyways, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. So yeah, with that's our history speedrun segment and everything else relating to Pingu. Diving into some community events related to Game Boy or just, retro gaming in general.
Mm-hmm.
Chelny is putting on an event called Bring 'em Over. This is the third iteration of it, so Bring 'em Over 3 on November 9th through the 11th. It's a marathon to bring over some foreign speedrunners to games done quick. Typically what happens is, at least for AGDQ 2020, there is a Mega Man relay happening right now. So they're trying to bring over a couple of the Japanese Mega Man runners, I believe they are. And they've been accepted into the marathon and everything else, and just trying to raise some funds to get the airfare and hotel and all the fun marathon prep that needs to go into it. So usually this happens every GDQ. Some community or persons will put on a marathon and try and bring over foreign runners that have been accepted into Games Done Quick who are amazing, phenomenal speedrunners and deserve to be in the public eye a bit more than they already are. Outside of that, AGDQ 2020, obviously. I don't even know what Game Boy games got in, if any.
Probably none, I would assume.
I would assume like a Pokemon or something.
Yeah, probably. Is the list actually out yet?
Yeah, the schedule's even out.
Oh, wait, okay, let me... AGDQ.
Squidlet got in. I was pretty pumped about Squidlet getting in, not gonna lie.
Games Done Quick schedule already? That's weird. Yeah, okay, it is up. Let me check if there are any Game Boy games. We have Metroid Zero Mission for GBA. That's something, I guess. Great game, so not bad. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for Game Boy Advance. Okay. Yeah. What else do we have? I see way too much PC. I see Battletoads Super Game Boy on Super Game Boy 2. So yeah, we have Battletoads.
Boring.
We have Battletoads in for Game Boy, which is cool because it's something else. Like not.
Is it the Game Boy Battletoads or is it Battletoads Battle of Ragnarok?
No, I think it's just Battletoads. So the original one.
So the actual Game Boy Battletoads.
Yeah. So that's I like that one a lot. So
that one's better of the three.
Yeah. Checking through more stuff. I don't really see anything. I see way too much PC.
There's a lot of PC this year.
On with PC?
There's like an 8-person Destiny 2 run.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
People played Destiny.
Yeah, that's nothing for me. So much PC.
We learned from ESA.
I don't know what this is. Pac-Man arrangement on Game Boy Player. What?
Pac-Man arrangement on Game Boy?
I don't know what this is. I have no idea.
I mean, there's like 2 Pac-Man games on the Game Boy.
Back in Time and Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Pac-Man arrangements. What? I don't know what this is. So
I don't even think they know what that is.
We'll see whenever that comes on, I guess.
Well, I mean, there is a chance for new games to come in, because if you see on the schedule, November 11th, I think it's a deadline for new games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's a chance you may see like a Link's Awakening Switch remake in there with that time getting goddamn destroyed right now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like we have Pac-Man arrangement and Battletoads, I guess, for Game Boy. I don't
Pac-Man arrangement.
Yeah,
it's so good. I don't even know what that means, but I'm excited for it.
Hey, a Game Boy game that has never been featured there before. I'm
just glad. Like KDL. KDL's never been in a GDQ either.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So listener questions. Let me hop into Discord here quick. Okay. We have a lot of GIFs of Pingu slapping its butt or bubbling its milkshake or sticking its tongue out. We have a lot of GIFs here. Let's see.
Yeah, Hero asks, why is Pingu the best game on Game Boy? So, it is a really good game. It's sad that it's actually so short of a game.
Yeah.
But
Ariel,
it's pretty cool.
And Ariel asks, when can we get a translated version? Well, when someone who is very good at translating games and making ROMs of them can do it. Which is neither one of us.
Yeah. Like, maybe it can happen, like you never know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just not that well known for translators to pick up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure we could probably find, like, a Japanese translator and be like, hey, what does this say? And then have someone that's good at ROM hacking or whatever else be like, okay, I'll make this, or, like, edit the ROM for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, from Hero, is there even another Pingu game, or is this one to rule them all? That's a fantastic question. Because, dude, what if there's one on the PS4?
I doubt that.
Dude, what? Okay, there's one on the 3DS. There's one on the DS. There's one on the PC called Pingu and Friends. There's one on the PC called Pingu: A Barrel of Fun. There's apparently a TAS of Pingu Game Boy. Yeah, so there's a few Pingu games out there, at least. Let me see here. Category games. Oh yeah. Here we go. We got Fun Pingu for the PlayStation. Oh, could you imagine playing Pingu on the PlayStation?
Yeah. I can always burn a copy of that, I guess.
Pingu's Wonderful Carnival on the Nintendo DS. By the way, these are all in Japanese right now.
Yeah.
My Friend Pingu, which it doesn't give me what console it's on. I would assume PC. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you put it onto your desktop, it's PC. So, Pingu: A Barrel of Fun, which is a PC game, and that opening, that cover art is terrifying. I closed the tab!
Oh no.
There we go. We're good. And then obviously the Pingu Game Boy game. Pingu and Friends for PC. That was a little less terrifying to look at. And Something Fishy. Which
Something fishy, yeah.
Which is on the Pingu's English website. Dang. So that's a web-based game. And according to the Google search that I did, there's a 3DS game as well called Pingu in the City to the Rescue.
Oh god, that's
man, compatible with Nintendo 2DS even. I kind of want to find copies of these. But dude, that PlayStation one looks amazing. I just found a cover art for the PlayStation one. And it looks amazing. It's called Fun Pingu.
Fun Pingu.
Oh, it looks good. Not to be confused with Pengo, which is on the Sega. So, there's a snowboarding section in the Pingu game. Oh my god. All right. Well, I know what I'm doing later. So, yeah, there are other Pingu games.
Yeah, that was to be expected because it's so popular in Japan.
Let's see here. Then you asked what's everyone's favorite Pingu episode.
Yeah.
Post here.
But nobody replied, so I guess people don't know. But the correct answer is all of them. All of them.
Oh, there's a PS3 Pingu game.
Isn't that just like a made-up one?
It might be. Yeah, it looks like it.
Because I see a lot
of
made-up ones. Yeah.
Damn. I'm just happy feet, I guess.
Yeah.
I was really happy there for a second. I was like, no way there's a PS3 Pingu game.
Yeah, I see that Fun Pingu came with his own toys or something. I don't know.
I want toys.
Like, I see, like, the disc and then, like, 3... Well, maybe it's just a random, of course. No, there's... Why is this? Oh my god, it comes with its own controller. And it has Pingu and Robbie... like, made into it.
What? Okay, I gotta look this up now.
This,
By the way, my favorite episode, because I did watch them on YouTube, was Pingu's new scooter.
Okay. What a weird controller.
Dude, not as weird as this Winnie the Pooh one I just found. Oh yeah, that is weird. Dude, $300?
That's a lot of money.
What? $300 for a Pingu PlayStation controller. But it is cute though.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to dive into that one some more because
Holy
this fun Pingu game needs research.
I want to see how much it is. Fun. Oh, it does come with toys.
Yeah, see that. Is it like a Skylanders thing before Skylanders was a thing?
Yeah. So I found a complete in box with the toys for $50 on eBay. I mean, I might just partake. But otherwise, the game itself, jewel case, booklet, and games about $10.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
It's not terrible at all. So, yeah. Again, thank you all for listening. If you ever have feedback for Mo, myself, Legs, please let us know. We're always open to feedback. Appreciate you all listening to our episodes, especially recently. Like, our episodes have exploded in listens from what I can see on SoundCloud.
Yeah, definitely. Like we suddenly gone up from under 3,000 to almost to 4,000 actually in like the span of 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I have no idea what happened. If people are like spreading the word and things like that, thank you very much. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, honestly, I personally, like, when we first started the podcast, I was like, yeah, this will be a fun project. I don't expect it to, like, grow, a crazy amount or really amount to anything, but it's amazing to see how much the podcast has actually grown in the little over a year that we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, like a good way to maybe spread the word without you actually having to spread the word. For people who are listening on through like Apple Podcasts, I guess it's called now, just do a quick review or just rate it, because then it gets like placed a lot higher in the list, because we only have 2 of them so far, I think, but we do show up in Google already if you just type in "this is Game Boy," so that's pretty impressive because, well, when you type in Game Boy in Google, you get a lot. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, thank you all very much for listening and hopefully enjoying our podcast. Seems like you all are enjoying it, but if you all ever have feedback, please let us know. Or if you are enjoying the podcast, please let us know. We always like to hear positive things as well. Aside from that, I'm Belthic Gaming. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, at Belthic Gaming, and YouTube still doesn't have a URL, but I have started uploading videos to YouTube finally, so that is the thing. Oh, and on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Belthic Gaming. I do post a little bit of things here and there. Where can I find you, Mo?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, all /Moelle, which is MOELLEUH. So.
Yep, and you can find our wonderful producer, Legs on YouTube, SprintingLegs on Twitch, and a various amount of names on Discord. So, but if you're the This Is Game Boy Discord, it is just Legs, so you're good to go there. And also you can find all of that information on gbrunners.com/TIGB. So easy clicks away.
Yep. And you can also, of course, find a link to our Patreon there. If you want to support the show with money, you can also do that. So, yeah, we have a Patreon. There's not that much on it, really, but once we do get like more funds in there, we will start having some great bonus things for our actual patrons. If you want to support us one time only, you can also do that. There's like a link to our paypal.me.
Yeah, and then once we hit, what is it, the $20 mark a month, we will be doing live episodes. So we'll be streaming it on Twitch and then porting it over to YouTube. And obviously, we'll still have the audio parts of it for SoundCloud. So
Yeah, if you want to the previous episode, like Spider-Man Part 2, we did do that live, so that one is up on our YouTube channel, which also doesn't have like a custom link yet, so it's best just going to there from our website, so you can just click to it. So if you want to see that one, you can do so. We also did Nubo live, but it's on our Monochrome City YouTube. Maybe we'll port it over just to have it there as well.
And then the next time you hear from us, this is a big game.
It's a big game. It's not even a Game Boy game technically we'll be doing, but
it's our biggest game yet.
Yeah, it's the one that everybody also knows. So yeah, definitely be diving into that one. If you remembered when Pokemon Let's Go came out, which was basically a remake of the Game Boy game, we did an episode on that. So now Link's Awakening has resurfaced from on the Switch with brand new content and graphics. So we'll be definitely diving into that one next time, and we will have somebody over again. So it won't be just the two of us, but Gran and Hero will be back for that episode because he was also here for the Froggy game episode. And as we said during that episode, these two games are very tightly connected because they were made by the same people. So it would be nice to have him back for Link's Awakening as well.
Do you imagine if they remade Froggy game?
That would be amazing.
For the Switch. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Then we have to redo the Froggy game episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, Link's Awakening Switch remake. I'm pretty excited to talk about this.
I'm
pretty excited to talk about this.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty long episode. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been warned, legs.
Mm-hmm.
Until next time.
See you later.
Wow, we have a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast?
Yes.
Dang.